Look at all these cool PS2 games that we've played before this. And I could have said, nope, that's it, we're done with the PS2, other than games that have been ported forward. But no, I had to do this. I should save a little of that for the actual intro, which will be coming up in a few minutes. We will wait about, let's say, 3.5 minutes at this point, so like 4:31 we'll get started. I'll tell you what though, the day after I finished DDS2, I slept the wrong way. So I've been massaging a kink out of my muscles in my shoulder and my neck for the past 3 days. It finally feels like it's just about gone. It's still there. I could still feel a twinge of it, but it's not nearly as bad as it was the day that I actually did it. You know? I just wish it would go away. I think I gotta put ice on it and then put a hot pack on it tonight. That would probably make a big difference. We'll see. Excuse me. Okay, let me take a drink because the clock is almost ready to tick over. And when it does tick over, I'll mute the mic and we'll get started. Actually, I don't know if I will mute the mic because this game's intro doesn't play until a little after it starts, so also might do that so that everybody can hear le title screen music. That's not how you say that in French. Doesn't matter. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just mute it for a quick second. I'll be right back. Okay, need to have a discussion with myself because we just finished Digital Devil Saga 2, a game that I can couple with Digital Devil Saga 1 and say these are my favorite SMT games of all time. And that could have been a really high note to end our PS2 streams on. But I just had to go digging, didn't I? I just had to look through my shelf of all the PS2 games I had left and say, which ones do I want to play at some point? Which ones do I feel would make a good stream? And then I pulled this out of the shelf and said, yeah, you know what? Why not? Why not indeed? How you doing, everybody? My name is Monochromium, and this is the Legend of Spyro trilogy. We'll be starting today with the first game in the series, The Legend of Spyro: A New Beginning. So, this game is... it's something. So, The Legend of Spyro trilogy... Let me do the settings while I'm saying these things. First, we got to set it to widescreen. Do that. Turn that off. Set this to inverted because it's not actually inverted. Turn off to slow motion because this game has enough slowdown as it is. And then turn this like here. I think that's how I want it to be. We'll see in a little bit if that's how it is. So yeah, this trilogy. If you look at 90s video game mascots, all of them have this trend that they go through where they meet with success with their first developer, and then in some cases they get sold off to a different developer, or the developer decides to move on to new and bigger projects, or the developer stops knowing what they want to do with that mascot, and so the mascot faces a crisis of identity, in which case they have a bunch of games that they're spinning their wheels. They don't really know what they're doing with it. And that can be called, in some cases, it can be called a dark age for that mascot. The Legend of Spyro trilogy was created and developed during this dark age for Spyro. It was still at a point where they weren't really sure what they wanted to do with him after Insomniac gave up his IP to go work on bigger and better projects like the Ratchet & Clank series. And a whole bunch of different developers tried to throw their hat in the ring, and they were meeting with... Honestly, I don't know how much success, because I didn't play these games until long after that era. And A New Beginning faces that sort of a problem, where it's not really sure how... It has an idea of how it wants Spyro to be, but it is drastically different from the OG trilogy in terms of his attitude and the gameplay and most everything else. Which is why I'm going to stress that when we go into this, it's probably for the best that you don't look at this in comparison to the OG trilogy, because if you do, you're probably going to be disappointed. I am going to attempt to play this game in a way that is as unbiased as possible while still having some knowledge of the OG trilogy at hand, because I found, in my experience of looking for gameplay and reviews and opinions on this game and this trilogy, that a lot of people do one of two things. They either defend it to the hilt, where nothing in the trilogy is bad and it can do no wrong, or they hate it because it's not the OG trilogy, and it doesn't do anything like the OG trilogy. And I'd like to try to bridge the gap there and meet in a middle ground where I'm going to look at the game based on its own merits rather than on the merits of what came before, or on the merits of, I grew up with this game, so therefore it is godly and can do no wrong. Because rose-colored glasses are fine until you want to look at something objectively. At that point, the rose-colored glasses become a hindrance. So we're going to try to look at the series in a relatively unbiased way. And we'll be starting that today with The Legend of Spyro: A New Beginning. So, without further ado, let me adjust the audio, because the audio balancing... I should stress up front, though, in an unbiased towards the OG trilogy way, that I am not a big fan of this first game. It gets better as the series goes on, I think. But I'm not a big fan of this first game, and one of the first things I can say about it is that the sound balancing is all over the place, because got this soft, serene tune for the title screen, and I have to turn it down by 4 decibels, because if I don't, I'm going to blow everyone's eardrums out when the enemies come onto the screen in a little bit after we press new game, screaming like banshees with God of War-esque soundtrack playing in the background. And if that doesn't give you some idea of the jumbled mess we're about to be in, let me make it a little clearer by pressing New Game. Yes, please, I would like to create data, because if you don't create data, well, what are we even doing here, right? Alright, so we'll let it save. And there we go, it has an autosave feature. That's a lie. It only kind of does. We'll talk about it later. Let's continue. I'll take a drink while they explain what we're doing here.
In the year of the dragon, in a world beyond the realms, I, like all the others, awaited the birth of the dragon of whom the prophecies foretold. But the Dark Master heard the prophecies as well.
It's weird, I get like a Bionicle feel from this cutscene for some reason. I haven't looked at anything Bionicle related in like 20 years, so I don't even know why, but... Yeah, you should never assume that that's true when it comes to these sorts of things, Big Dragon Guy.
Save them. The dark armies have come.
And they've rigged explosives on the upper floors. Or something. Kind of hard to save more than one egg when you don't have like a pouch for them, you know, like if you're gonna be trying to save them one at a time like this, you're gonna wind up not saving too many. Just a thought. Here's hoping those guys hate water, because otherwise that egg is a sitting duck on that river.
Ancestors look after you. May they look after us all.
I mean, there's only so much the ancestors can do. At some point you gotta take this into your own hands, but that's just me. He's trying to take things into his own hands as it is, but well, whether or not it worked out for him, we won't find out until later. For right now, we have to follow this egg downriver, into the mushroom forest. Because this begins our tale of heroism and beat 'em up, not really platformer gaming type of a dealie. I don't really know. Like I said, this game's tagline is basically a crisis of identity, the video game. But some people prefer to call it The Legend of Spyro, A New Beginning. Can't tell you how much the A New Beginning subtitle irks me as someone who's content created on the internet and I have to see every video that's part one of a video series being basically a new journey, a new beginning. It's like, guys, can you come up with something else, please? And I kind of glossed over it. But you did see that correctly. Elijah Wood as Spyro. David Spade as Sparks. Gary fucking Oldman. Okay, hold on. Now you have my attention. Let's see where they go with this. They hired high-grade, top-quality movie voice actors to be the voices of these characters. You have my attention, The Legend of Spyro. Let's see what you do with them. Sorry. I felt something, a great sarcasm rising through my chest as I said that.
9, 10. Here I come.
No, but the voice actors, I think, do a pretty good job in most cases.
Raised as one of their own. They named him Spyro, and he grew up alongside Sparks, the young dragonfly who was born the same day.
Where do the dragonflies get these names from? Like, is it like an ancestry thing? Do they have like a wall of names somewhere? I mean, they don't have access to the internet.
As for Spyro, he, like all of us, accepted the world into which he was born, believing he was one of them. A big purple one of them, true, but one of them, nonetheless.
Yeah, I don't know if that's how you should do that with an adopted child, but okay. Anyway. So we can move to camera. I found Sparks. He's around here somewhere. There he is. Hang on. Up is down, down is up. Okay, hang on. Hold the phone. Let's go back. This needs to be... Oh, no, wait, I remember now. Yeah, this is flight up and down, not camera up and down. So camera up and down will be inverted for the entire game, even if you press invert here. Camera left and right you can fix so that left moves left and right moves right, but you can't fix up moving up and down moving down. So that's fun. Alright, let's go back.
I see you, my little glowing friend.
Seeing and catching are two different things, a big boy.
I mean, that is a good point, but...
Yeah, you better run.
Better watch, I'm gonna headbutt you with my horns. Alright. So they start you off pretty easy. Just kind of meander around the mushroom forest. Go catch your dragonfly buddy. Do some jumping. Do some double jumping. We'll eventually do some gliding, I think. I forget how this first level goes. It's been a little while. Hey, Marie, how's it going? You didn't have a guess, but you see that you're still wrong, even in your wildest dreams. This one would have been hard to guess, I admit. This is not a game that a lot of people have played, I get the impression, so... And Rockin' Fun's here. Hello, Rockin' Fun. How you doing? Oh, what's this? Oh, we gonna find out today, aren't we? This is The Legend of Spyro: A New Beginning. This is Elijah Wood voicing Spyro. And David Spade voicing Sparks, who just got eaten by a frogweed.
Spyro, seriously, lend me a hand here, will you, brother?
Sparks? I don't know. Frogweed's gotta eat too.
And considering that one firefly just flew directly through his polymorph, I mean, I would think you could probably get out of here yourself, couldn't you? Well, anyway, they don't let you remap the controls, but now circle, instead of being breath, is a melee attack, so that's fun. Get the hell out of here, frogweed. Thank you.
Ugh. Now I smell almost as bad as you do.
A little gratitude would be nice.
That's pretty bad. See you later, sucker.
Yeah, if you're looking for a little gratitude from Sparks in this game, you're looking in the wrong place. Just saying. There we go. Yeah, I'm with Spyro. Frogweed gotta eat too. Something like that. So there's melee combos. The game is saying I'm hitting 4 times, when in reality I'm hitting 3 times, so that's fun, but... This game is jank. Let's just get that out of the way right away. This game is janky as sin in a lot of ways, as we'll find out in a minute. It's one of those games. Oh yeah. You remember sucking at this game? This game has some something. We'll talk about it as we go here. First, we got to catch Sparks by going into this giant snake skeleton looking thing. Snake Skull, there you go. So get out of my way, Snake Skull. I got a dragonfly to catch. So there are side paths. There's basically nothing on them. So don't worry about the side paths. It's not one of those games where there's actually like... Yeah, you lost yours on purpose. Yeah, there's nothing really on any of the side paths. You can break open some of the side paths or walk around them, and maybe eventually there will be something to find, but the vast majority of the time, just follow the main objective marker. It's nothing really substantial. Like I said, don't go into this comparing this to OG Spyro, because if you do, you're going to be going in with the wrong expectation. This game wants to be anything but the OG Spyro. It wants Spyro's fame, but it wants to use it in a new setting and a new environment. So come into it thinking of that, and you'll be in better shape.
You know, this is getting a little boring. Sparks!
Well, that's not good. This is a little different from the frogweed eating you.
Miserable coward, let me go.
Don't let him get away.
What do you mean? Thought all of us were gone, huh? Well, I'll show you who's gone. Now you're gone. So the game doesn't teach you this yet, but I'm probably going to use a bunch of air combos, because air combos are godly in this game. You basically incapacitate enemies when you air combo them. So it's far better than trying to deal with them normally. So, and you occasionally even get some health for it, so that's nice. But that's the general gist of the combat. The general flow of combat in this one is use an air combo and go to town from there. Whoops. Well, that wasn't good. Maybe I can't air combo dynamite. That probably doesn't work very well. I'll take that, thank you. Okay, okay, getting pummeled. Hang on. Let me go up in the air. Maybe that'll let me dodge the dynamite a little bit. Yep, looks like it. At least somewhat. Wow, that's dynamite. Okay. Where are you at, sir? Oh, there you are. Okay. Let's not get hit by the dynamite. There we go. You're a little limited for right now in terms of what you can do and what you can attack with, so... just do what you can until they stop spawning.
Out of here and fight me like a thing, whatever you are. You pathetic wretch.
Somebody needs to tell David Spade how to say his lines a little better, because it doesn't look like they're doing that. What it does look like is I'm going to have roasted monkey for dinner.
Was that fire, dude?
It may just have been, yeah.
Take care of him. I gotta report the sender.
The dragon breathed fire at me! I need some medical compensation! So yes, they, like I said, they switched the button. You can use fire with the square button. So that's fun. It's gonna take some getting used to, I'll tell you what. Whoop. Sir, stop that. I like to come down from the flight, from the air combo, using my breath attack if there's enemies still left to deal with, because it keeps me a little safer than it would otherwise be if I didn't. And then I can do this and continue to air combo, so just like that, basically. It doesn't always work, but I mean, it's fairly reliable, I would say. At the very least, it distracts them, so... Sometimes it distracts them. Now, granted, the enemies do drop a lot of gems for you in this one, so that's a bit of a saving grace.
Get me out of here, Spyro. I think my wings are singed.
I wouldn't be shocked.
You okay?
I think I might have breathed more at the cage than at the monkeys. Baboons. What?
You breathe fire! So I'm just about ready to blow the top off that place and kick that guy's booty.
Oh, sure.
Spyro let loose with some serious flame, dude. No joke. Flames from the mouth.
Uh-huh.
I was just trying to help.
I had a lot of spicy food for lunch, and it just sort of came back up.
Mom, Dad, you should have seen him. He came out breathing fire. All right? I tell you, it was crazy. You don't believe me? Spyro, tell me.
Yeah, that doesn't look like a you don't believe me. That looks more like a we knew this day would come.
Whoosh. Flame City.
Sparks gets into trouble more than Princess Peach and faster. Yeah, he's something else in this game, I'll tell you what. They tried to make like a snarky secondary protagonist, and I don't think they knew what that meant. So.
He wasn't a dragonfly after all.
And I mean, it's like, no shit, right? But it's like, also, he literally hatched here, so he wouldn't know what much of anything else would be. All he has to compare to is frogweeds, so,
It's just that you
yeah.
came from somewhere else, far away, where wars rage on, and the innocent seem to always pay the price.
I think I like it here a little better.
After that night, that Spyro decided to venture forth and find his...
What part of what just happened to make Sparks seem snarky? That's what I'm saying, is that I don't think they knew... Like, they wanted to make him like Daxter or something like that, right? They wanted to make him like a, you know, a one-liner, cheesy one-liner, kind of a sidekick that just says something that would, you know, piss the enemies off and then let you handle the rest. But again, I don't think they knew what that meant, so they just sort of wrote him in such a way that it makes him out to be a bit of an asshole, and that's just not really good because I'm used to Sparks being my cuddly health bar friend, and now he's whatever this is. Again, trying not to compare to the OG trilogy, but you're trying to remanipulate the character and you don't know what you want to do with him, so it's kind of...
Don't listen to your father's preaching, Spyro. Just be yourself. It's all any of us can do.
So anyway, we have to leave home now with no idea of what we're doing or where we're going other than find my, not really real parents, but find others like me, so.
Hard as it was, Spyro left the only family he had ever known.
Oh, you're going to start the latter half Palace of the Dead solo? Oh boy. Well, good luck with that. Hopefully it goes alright. To where he did not know, but one thing was for sure. The baboons would be following me. I guess whoever this Cinder person is told them to stay on his tail. What? I mean, that's probably a big guy, but you've beaten the small ones. We'll be all right. We'll be fine. I think. We might die once or twice, but death is of very little consequence in this game, as you'll see. When we get there. Oh, hello, frogweeds! There we go. Guess they still only take 3 hits, so that's fine. You don't have to beat up these frogweeds. As a matter of fact, it might be better to just leave them alone. Like, if they're not on the beaten path, you might as well just go, but... you know. Golden Sun's premise in a nutshell. Yeah, you have to stop these thieves from using the elemental stars to relight the elemental lighthouse and bring about the end of days. We don't know where they went or even where the lighthouses are, but you need to leave home and chase them down. Premise. Yeah, that. Okay, sure. There is also this level up option on the menu here, but we don't really need to worry about that too much for right now. It's just not really something that we need to be too concerned about. We'll worry about that later. For now, let's just head on up. Ignore that frogweed, pretend he doesn't exist, and meet up with this enemy. And again, pummel him in midair, because that's the best way to do this. It's also the easiest way to get these enemies to go flying outside of the map, which is always funny. That guy bounced off an invisible plot wall, but whatever. And then we gotta go this way.
Spyro, so me and the old man were chatting, and this whole belonging thing, came up, and we decided that best friends belong together.
I really would have preferred if you didn't. Hi.
Well, at least I've never been turned into a lantern.
Oh.
Please, lantern schmantern. Let's see what's out there.
At least they can snark together, you know what I mean? I guess that's a good thing. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Sparks in this game, and I mean, I want to say that I'm not as big of a fan of his voice acting, but I don't think that David Spade does a bad job voicing Sparks. I just think that he was given bad voice direction in some cases. Now, it's hard to tell, right? Because, like, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes here, so we can't tell if this is the case. But think about it this way. You're Chrome Studios. You've met with middling success with Ty the Tasmanian Tiger in your, spare time before this. And you get bought by, well, your next idea gets bought by a developer, a publisher. And they decide, hey, it would be cool if we hired these ridiculously high-profile voice actors for this game that you want to make. Good luck with that. Yeah, guys, we need to know what to say to these people. Like, if you've never interacted, if you've met with middling success, if you're a low-level game development company, and all of a sudden you have access to these high-profile voice actors, how do you even give voice direction at that point? Like, what do you even say to them? I mean, they're human beings, so you talk to them like every other human being, but at some point the stardom kind of gets in the way of you being able to talk to them like a normal human being, and I think that's what happened here in a few cases. They had these high-profile voice actors, and they just didn't know how to tell them, hey, you need to do that line better, because they were afraid of them, they were starstruck, I don't know. Doesn't really particularly matter, I guess, but... Just gonna let you guys burn for a second while I go grab some extra stuff. Okay. Just do that then. And you could keep going here, and I might just at some point, because this is a little ridiculous, like the amount of reinforcements they've got going here, but whatever. It's probably fine. Okay, he's dead. I mean, I guess it's better that I get rid of them now instead of letting them follow me all through the forest, right? Like, that makes sense, I think. Yeah, see how that works, where you basically just... you come down and you're protected in front by a barrier of fire. It's nice. Just like that. The reason why you want to do that, by the way, is because if you don't protect yourself, this game doesn't have invincibility frames in between hits. So if you get hit by an enemy, you could very easily just continue to get hit by enemies if they plan out their attacks right. Oh, you couldn't continue because there was a barrier. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, if you get hit by their attacks in such a way that one of them uses an attack and then the other one uses another attack, you could just get stun locked, really. Okay, hi. Where did you all come from? This might be a case where I run away, because there's 3 of these guys and they do not get juggled, so, see ya. Hang on, let me just... Hope you don't fail Palace this time. Don't want to fight Edda again, even though she's easy. It's the original 5 boss to fight without a lust. The screen shake on the hits looks so jank amazing. It's not the only thing rockin' fun. You will see plenty of jank as we go along here. Oh boy, it's a meme stream. That's what these next 3 streams are going to be, because we'll get this done this week, but this is going to be a meme stream for sure. But yeah, hopefully, you know, Edda doesn't pose any problems for you. That wouldn't be good. Yeah, I'm just leaving those guys behind. They can eat it for all I care. Because they definitely can't get back over here, so... Well, I got all these guys. Thankfully, even though you can take a few hits in this one, it's usually fairly easy if you beat an enemy to get back the health that you just lost, so... Kind of hard to see those in the dark, though. And I mean, I would imagine that the stream is going to make that look even darker than it just was. I guess I might be able to turn the brightness up? No, of course not, because this game... Why would this game have brightness settings? That would make too much sense. It's not in screen position, is it? No, it's not. Alright, anyway. So, yeah, we're in for a fun time today, ladies and gentlemen, and those of non-specified genders. So...
Breathe, Sparks, old boy. Go to your happy place.
Or hide. That would probably be better than going to your happy place.
I have no idea, but I'm going this way, far from it.
Sounds like a plan.
Brings us to the moment that Spyro's journey really began.
What, you mean it didn't begin before this? How many beginnings are we going to have in a new beginning? Well, hello.
Long story.
And I thought you were a big one. Goodness.
Guess they grow a little taller outside the mushroom forest.
You're alive, but it's too late. Too late.
For what?
For what?
Yeah.
Who are you? Do you know me? Where do I come from?
Dark as
What are
fuck.
you? What are we?
This feels like a PS1 game. Are you sure it's a PS2 game, not a PS1 game? And that's precisely the problem, isn't it?
You're a dragon.
Oh, boy.
When you were just an egg, it was my job to protect you.
I feel bad, because I think a lot of the commentary across this particular game is going to be me tearing this game a new one. Because it's you know,
They were fraud of us.
it does things that make you want to tear it a new one, but
Ensure that all
yeah, I think that's mostly going to be the commentary.
of the dragon after all, and our very survival depended on those eggs. But the temple and grotto are now gone. Overrun by...
Temple? What temple? Can you take me? Can I see it? Where I came from, I mean?
I mean, he could, but
Who knows what forces occupy the temple now? What state it's in?
I mean, can't we just breathe some fire and get them out of here?
After they came for you,
They? Well, who is they? And why did they come for me?
because the prophecies spoke of a purple dragon. A dragon born only once every 10 generations.
Hmm.
You.
So do you guys just not commonly have
Does that mean
purple as a color? I mean, I guess he's red,
this
so...
guy, Spyro, some special once in a purple thing? I think you might have mixed that one up. Whoa, that's a little bit of a stretch. I've heard some
It's like
doozies in my day.
listening in on an amateur voice acting like testing ground sometimes with David Spade in this game. And I know he's better than this. I watched The Emperor's New Groove.
They nearly succeeded.
Again, that's why I think it's voice direction rather than voice actor, just phoning it in, but...
We were at the war.
Yeah, this is a reboot, yeah. This is a reboot. It's not going off of the OG trilogy. It's a whole new thing, so... Yeah, Sparks doesn't skip Arm Day very much, yeah. He's a little jacked.
Led our small but valiant forces into battle after battle against our ruthless, mercenary foe.
But they kept coming back! There were too many of them.
Cinder came.
Cinder?
Like how you said, sad that you're trashing this game like you were going to talk about its redeeming qualities, and then you just said nothing fucking accurate. There are some trace few redeeming qualities to this game, and we'll get to them.
Yeah, you had me at ferocious.
What the hell happened to the aspect
Sounds like
ratio?
that
Oh my
demon
god.
was chasing us,
And
Spyro.
the quality.
She still searches for me.
It's kind of ew. Oh, Cinder. I remember Cinder. Oh, Cinder is... Actually, to be honest, I kind of like Cinder. She's one of the few, I think, redeeming qualities of this game. And she's one of the good things about the whole trilogy. I mean, the trilogy, I think, has good things to it. They're mainly not relegated to this game, but we'll get to that.
Might have been. What else I might have done.
Sounds like you're really deep in regrets there, Gary Oldman. Oh, there goes the
Sounds
quality.
Fun. I want to hang out with this guy.
Yeah. Why have you given up? I just find out that I'm this special dragon, and you tell me all is lost? That I have no home or family left? I've come way too far to give up now.
I have to see it for myself, or it's not true.
Savior boy, were you not listening to this guy?
You played that PS3, Spyro? You loved her elements in that game, Air Poison and Darkness. Yeah, okay, that's kind of grim and fear. Yeah, that's the third game in this trilogy. If we're not talking about Skylanders there, that's the third game in this trilogy there, Marie, and we will be getting to that one, so... Probably late next week, or the week after next,
But
so...
the prophecies didn't foretell the devastation that surrounds us now.
Maybe you're right, but I'm willing
I mean,
to try.
they were already talking about a purple dragon, they were talking positive. Wouldn't they want to just stay positive? Why would they talk about the negatives?
Well then, we'll
Excuse
go.
me.
You deserve
Why'd the quality of the cutscene do that, and now it's back? I think it was because that section was pre-rendered, and this section is, like, actual in-game polygon models. It was horribly pre-rendered, granted, but it was pre-rendered nonetheless. So... I checked out some of the toy songs you sent. Yeah, I've started checking a couple of them out. They're really good. Oh, it's just as good as I remember it. It's great. It's been fantastic, so... You gotta check out... I haven't checked all of them out yet, but I will, eventually. Little at a time. So how do we get in here, Ignitus?
Cinder's soldiers must have
I think he said that that's his name. His name is Ignitus, just in case you were wondering.
heathens.
What other two statues?
On the other side of this door are two statues just like these. When all four statues are positioned correctly, the door opens.
Okay.
Good. I was never good at geometry. So what do you want us to do?
They have
Spyro,
geometry Nope. Stop questioning. Sparks just says shit. I forgot. It's this game. Sparks just says shit with no rhyme or reason to why it is. Just stop questioning it and we'll all be better off.
and use it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Animals are, okay, you know what? You do that, and I'll wait here.
I mean, if you want to do that, you can. Just stay here with the big dragon guy. He looks like He looks so sad. He looks like he needs a friend, Sparks. So you stay here. I'll go beat up the bad things, and we'll go from there. Here's the cave. Right? The full OST is fucking 3 hours long. Don't think I've heard half the tracks, actually. And it's, yeah. I gotta get through it eventually myself, but it's definitely something. So I've enjoyed what I've seen so far, and I'm sure I will enjoy more after that. Always a good idea, by the way, to open with Fire Breath when you're fighting one-on-one like that, because it will basically just make the enemies, like, panic, and so because they're panicked, they can't whack you in the face. And obviously that's what we would rather want, is for them to not be whacking me in the face. So now, when there's multiple enemies, sometimes it's better to use a different breath power, but spoiler alert, we get different breath powers in this game, but we don't have different breath powers for right now, so just open everything with fire and then whack somebody upside the head and we'll be in good shape. Ooh, I'm trying to look down, but the camera's looking up because it's inverted and I can't fix it. I mean, that's fair. There we go. Alright, so do this, and then do this, and we got a bash, and we've broken through. And I kind of wish we didn't, because now we got to deal with this, but... Okay, don't know what was just happening there. Stop it. Stop it, both of you. Oh, there's a third one. But yeah, the slow motion chance thing on the options menu would cause slow motion in the air with some of these hits. Just like that, actually, but that was not the game doing it on purpose. Like, it can do it for... It's supposed to be for cinematic effect. But this game does it by itself without needing to do it for cinematic effect, because this game has slowdown up the wazoo. It's ridiculous sometimes. But... yeah, so that's why I turned it off, because this game does enough slowdown without me having to have it happen in the air occasionally as well. So I said, no, let's just turn that right off. We don't need to worry about that. It's fine. I hope you like air combos, because that's the vast majority of this game's combat, unfortunately. Oh yeah, you can also kind of do like a sort of a spinning move in the air with them if you breath them while they go in the air. I did it for the last couple of guys there. I don't know how well it showed up, but yeah, it's there. Okay, so we gotta very jankily push this into place. You don't, like, lock into it. You just sort of... You have to push it, and you could, like, fall right off the edge of it if you're not pushing it the correct way like that. So, yeah, that's great. That's just great. Alright, Ignitus, I got the door. Love that they brought back the same singers and composers, even if the style is more punk. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's fantastic, because it feels like coming home to something that you remember from your childhood, you know what I mean? So it's great. It's good to see them back. The Switch version's looking great. You sure that you aren't emulating this on a toaster? Oh no, this is native hardware, my friend. Oh boy. Hey Nitro, how's it going? Welcome. We're playing Jank Dragon, the video game. Today and the rest of this week.
It seems my fears have been realized. They've desecrated the interior as well.
I mean, how many years have they occupied the temple? Of course, it would make sense that they would desecrate it.
Restoring every statue you can find.
Now that I can do.
Say we didn't. Why don't you do it?
He's a little too big. That's why.
Hop up.
All right. The old guy's coming to life.
Now we just need to restore the fire in his belly. Maybe if I can find some mead or something.
Careful, Spyro. Zinda's forces are surely on their way.
Oh, I'm ready for them. Don't worry about that.
Take a gander at this.
That's a good question. What is this? Well, I hit it with my head and gems popped out, so that's probably good. There we go.
Hey, Spyro, what was that about?
I don't know. It was a gem cluster. I broke it with my face.
And when I did, the power of 1,000 suns surged through my body.
I think you're being a little overdramatic.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know what? You should really sleep better.
For once, I agree with Sparks.
You really need to get 8 hours.
Forget I said anything. Let's go.
But anyway, yeah. So look for those gem clusters if you need some life or mana back, because, well, you don't get any more of it in this game. So... Now, I have to ask a question. How does this game run at, like, 15 FPS and all that, but it has footprints? Like, look at that. It has footprints from where I was just walking. Skyrim doesn't have footprints without you doing something first, like installing a mod. I feel like they put their priorities in certain places and then just, like, left it, you know? Whack the big guy, because he can throw dynamite, so let's get him the hell out of here. Get you the hell out of here. Yeah, this is the general flow of combat for now. It's something. Again, I know I'm being overly negative. I apologize to anybody who really enjoys this trilogy, and I promise you, once we get out of this hellhole, by the end of this week, it will get better, because I do enjoy the second and third games a lot better. Granted, I only enjoy the second game when played on a certain console that is not the PS2, but we'll get to that. I'm assuming this series has a worse soundtrack than the OG trilogy. Actually, the soundtrack isn't terrible. It's one of the redeeming qualities across this trilogy, actually. It's not as catchy and melody intensive as the OG trilogy. It's more atmospheric. It's more of a, like, this is in the background type of a deal. The music reflects on the area that you're in, less than the music is the area that you're in, if that makes any sense. Like, when you hear a melody from the OG trilogy, you know what area you're in. When you hear a melody from this game, you may not necessarily know what area you're in, but it reflects what the feeling of that area is, so... This game's soundtrack is a little bit iffy, but it's because it's two things. One, it was the first outing, from what I understand, of the composers that made this game's soundtrack. And two, I don't know anything about the background development of this game or anything like that, but I'm fairly confident when I can tell you that Sierra, who were the publishers of this game, told the composers, you have to make it sound like God of War. Because that's what we're going for, is God of War. So you have to make it sound like God of War. And they said, okay, we'll do the best we can. And they came up with this, so... It'll get better. It's a bit bland for right now, yeah, but it'll get better as we go. So... It just... The tracks that I like the best in this trilogy are the ones that don't try to be... God of War, really. And I hate to bring that up as, like, a comparison point. Especially from somebody who hasn't played God of War very much, but as a matter of fact, I haven't played it at all for the channel. But I think that's what they were going for, so that's why I bring it up. That's very generous of you guys. I don't think I need that much, but, you know. Probably not going to be here for long because you're sort of busy today. Thought you'd stop by and say hi. That's okay, Nitro. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it, and hello. You stay as long as you'd like. We'll be here. So... Yeah, let's get this the heck out of here. Okay.
That's quite an entrance, young dragon. There might be hope for us yet.
Well, apparently that opened the door, so that's good. There might be hope for us yet, he says, as he lets his head sag directly through the earth on his way through.
What are these things?
These are spirit gems. A gift from the ancestors.
What kind of gift?
A gift that speaks across generations.
So money.
That imbues you with the spirit of the past, strengthening you with the wisdom of the ages.
It's not actually money, but
Powerful already.
there is a currency to be had in this game. We just don't have access to it yet because we don't have the level up system yet. But they're going to explain it to us now. So these gem clusters can have red gems in them for health, green gems in them for mana, or blue gems, which it's basically experience or souls or what have you. It allows you to level up through the upgrade screen. So if we smash these, we'll get a few level up gems, as you can see. So it's always good to go for these gem clusters if you can find them, just to get the little bit of extra experience.
You hear that?
That being said,
Exactly.
this game provides you with plenty of experience if you beat up a good chunk of the enemies along the way. So
we should turn back.
Alright, wait a minute. I'm 2/3 of the way through the level. Why would I turn back now?
Closed, it means there are intruders behind. It's how the temple protects itself.
Yeah, so we've already dealt with intruders. Like, twice.
What are you saying, Ignitus?
What I'm saying is the only way the door will open.
Don't say it.
Is if the intruders are kicked out of there.
Didn't I just say don't say it?
Yes, but no one's listening to you, Sparks. Okay, so anyway, we gotta bust through the wall so we can figure this whole thing out. I don't think this moves, does it? No, but this does. If I do this. Oh, timber! Okay, well, apparently that didn't hurt me, thank God. I see you in there. Running away to join your buddies, no doubt. Well, let's get after him. Or go to the left. I was pressing forward, but sure, I'll go to the left. Oh, good lord. Okay. I guess I can check out the level up system while we're here. So yeah, when you get enough spirit gems, you can go to the level up screen. And this might look familiar, again, to all of you who've played God of War in the past, and this is why I said I think that's what they were going for, because it's down to the pool, right? Like in the bottom left corner in God of War 1, there was a pool of blood-looking stuff, and that represented your experience bar, and it like it slurped down to this little tiny ball, which you can see in the center of this one, as you put experience into skills. It's literally the same thing, except instead of blood, you have spirit energy. So we don't have very much of it for right now, though, so I'm not even going to bother with upgrading Fire Blast. We'll get to that eventually. Not by the end of this level, but by the end of the next level, we should have enough experience to upgrade the Fire Blast once, maybe even twice. I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna let that go off before I try to mess with that. But yeah, see, sometimes when you come down with the fire breath there, it'll protect you from the enemies attacking you. But sometimes you'll use the fire breath and it'll just say, no, you don't get to do things today. So. Like, the game prides itself on its combat system, right? Like, it's trying to be more of a beat-em-up than any of the original trilogy was, and that's fine. If you want to take the game into a new direction, that's all fine and good. You do you. The trouble is that the beat-em-up sections, the beat-em-up elements of it, are kind of crap. I mean, there's a first-order strategy that works in every single encounter in the game, which is air combos. There's no invincibility frame, so you can get stun locked. The enemies seem to have hyper armor in some cases, so they just ignore when you do things. So it's actually more interesting to play the game in such a way that you just try to jank it up so that you kill the enemies in ways that wouldn't be, like, the game may not necessarily intend for you to do. And that just becomes more acute the further along in the game that we get, so. I see the potential. That's the problem, right? Is I see the potential in this game. It's just that it doesn't really take it in a lot of cases. Now here, it's a little interesting because you can eliminate a large amount of the encounter by using stealth, like this. Like if you slowly meander your way over. You can light this bad boy up, like that, and blow up most of the enemies that you're about to encounter. So that's interesting, right? That's them intending for you to have an alternate solution to the problem that they've presented you. It's too bad that happens approximately 3 times across the whole game. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm bitter. I don't know, but it just... I'd like to make sure that I clarify that I'm not bitter because this isn't the OG trilogy that I expected going in. No, I'm just bitter because I don't think the game does enough with the tools that it's trying to work with, you know? It's not bitter to the point where I don't want to play it, but that's because I know there are better things ahead, so. That's a lot of guys. Okay. I was gonna say, we should probably work together on this one.
We nabbed your guardian buddies, but you managed to escape our clutches. Until
I don't know about that.
Yes, Spyro. And let me show you what a dragon trained in the ancient ways can do.
Okay. Impress me. I mean, you've been out of the action for a few years, but I think it'll be alright. Yeah, it'll be alright. He's he's kicking their asses, it's fine. Ow.
Whoa, the big guy's got some moves.
He's manhandling him. I wish I could dodge attacks by doing that. There is a dodge function in this game, but it doesn't work like what he just did. Should we help? He looks like he's... Oh. It was a trap! Nice. He laid a trap for them, and then he blew them all up.
Are you okay, Ignitus?
Just knows how to fight. Okay. Well, that fancy bomb thing he just used, I guess, was a little more interesting, but... He's pretty good at all this. You'll also notice purple gems dropped from those guys because he defeated them. We can't pick those up, I don't think, but... Yeah, there's a reason why those purple gems dropped for him, and not us yet. Because we haven't trained with him yet. Excuse me. So we'll go work on that. Alright, Ignitus, you used your fancy bomb power, now it's my turn. Granted, I don't have that fancy bomb power, but I'll do the best I can, so... Alright, who's left? Just you, the big guys. That's dynamite. That's okay, hang on. Hold the phone. There we go. Oh, hang on. Just gotta figure out which one I'm gonna air juggle, and then we'll go from there. Alright, well, this time it's gonna be you, because you decided to interrupt me. Yep, okay, hang on. Thought I ran out of mana for a second there. I was gonna be like, wait a minute. But nope. You're kind of stuck in your path, though, when you do an air combo. Like, it's hard to turn around. You can't just dead angle when you're air comboing. You have to kind of turn, like, a lot in order to get there. You're almost attacking with commitment when you attack in the air. So that's a disadvantage, but there are very few disadvantages to attacking in the air, whereas attacking on the ground, you can be stun locked and interrupted and a whole bunch of other stuff. So.
Oh, goody.
They won't be there for long.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
Oh, now he's getting cocky.
Alright, well, before we go in there, let's grab some more gems. There is no gem counter for each stage, by the way. Just feel like I should mention that. 100%ing this game is just completing it. There is no, like, here's your stats, here's how many gems you've collected, here's how many this you've collected. None of that. That doesn't exist in this game, so, yeah. You don't got to worry about that. Just go through the levels as you are, and you'll be fine. We got a little more experience, and now maybe I can show you what I mean by this looks exactly like OG God of War. So watch the spirit pool at the bottom left there as I put experience in a fire blast here. Yeah, see how it dips down like that? Very, very similar to OG God of War. So it was what they were going for. Like, it's not even a question. Like, I don't have to know what the development process was here to say this game was developed off the back of God of War, basically. Because God of War came out in 2005. This game started development in late 2005, so... Coincidence? I think not! Okay. Well, we made it to the temple, so let's head inside. This place looks exactly like the outside. Save maybe for a few streamers of different colors. Oh. There's a redeeming quality. Some unexpected comedy at Sparks' detriment. I'll take it. Wow, who's that guy? He looks intimidating. Is that one of the ancestors, maybe? I think he's saying go take a look for yourself, which I don't think is a bad idea. Except there's temple guardians, so that's fun. How about you get out of here I want to be the Legend of the Hidden Temple, and you're not helping. That takes care of that. Oh, good. Even more of them. How about you stop that right now? I said stop that. Fine, I'll just regular air combo you. Fry you all to a crisp. Alright, well. Leave me free falling. But yeah, see how I just dodged both of these guys on the ground almost twice because I was in the air. Definitely helps in some cases, like I said. Okay, I think the fight's over. You can usually tell, I'm not really sure exactly what it is, maybe the frame rate gets a little higher, but you can usually tell when the fight's over because, I don't know, something happens. Am I waiting for Ignitus here? Is that what's going on? Oh yeah, waiting for Ignitus to slowly meander his way across the room. I mean, it's fine. Give the old guy a break. He's been out of the action for a while. I get it. But yeah, it feels weird with like the dynamic sound design stuff that's going on here. It's like some of the soundtrack is incredibly loud in the background, whereas some of it is so quiet you can't hear it on the current volume setting that I have, so it's something. Did I try to assassinate you with Legends of the Hidden Temple a minute ago? It was just a reference that came to me. How do you even know what Kansas is? Nope, nope, nope. Nope. Stopping myself now before I have an aneurysm. Stopping right now. Not doing it. If I question everything Spark says in this game, I will be here for days. So, not doing it.
What happened here?
Well, I mean, it's a mushroom forest. What did you think it was going to be?
Has done. Put all the islands under her iron rule.
Am I missing something here? Because it doesn't look like a whole lot's going on out there.
I didn't know it was going to be like this.
I feel like they're seeing something I'm not.
No offense, but this place is a bit of a dub.
I mean, we can rebuild.
This was once our home, Spyro. Together we can make it our home once again. Reclaim what's rightfully ours.
What do you mean?
So how do we do that?
I mean that my time for heroics is past. But with your help, we might be able to beat Cinder.
I can't, Ignitus. I just learned what I am.
You can, Spyro. You can.
Bit of role reversal going on here. I like it.
A very special creature.
We help him, he helps us. You scratch my back and all that. Especially with dragons, they probably can't scratch their backs
Now it's time.
without, you know, rubbing it up against one of these rock formations.
I'm not sure what help I can be, Ignitus, but I'll try.
Do or do not, young purple dragon. There is no try.
Good. That's all I can ask.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like a big city or what, or if the mushrooms just overgrew everything or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, destroyed or ruined. I don't know. I don't know what they're looking at that is supposed to... Like, I know what comes after this, so I don't know what they're looking at that's supposed to look ruined. But,
Considering you haven't been told
I don't know.
anything about what it means to be a dragon.
Thanks.
I have been kind of gliding by the seat of my pants here, haven't I?
But if you're going to have a chance against Cinder and her army, you're going to need to learn about tomb.
Again, sound balancing thing here because,
Unlike any
you know,
soul you've ever known,
background
friend,
music overpowering the voice acting,
it's time to unleash
as I think it is.
the true dragon within you.
I have to keep the volume down slightly in the background so it doesn't overpower me.
Is master of an element.
So you're a fire master.
Surmised and master of fire.
Right, so you can help me with my flaming breath.
And you may be someday too.
Cool.
Let's begin.
So they make a big deal in this game out of getting training from the masters. They make you do tutorials for each and every one of the new masters that you go rescue. And Ignitus is the first one. So let's go burn some dummies with Fire Blast. You can basically use your breath indefinitely in here, so just go nuts with it.
Very good, young Spyro.
Spyro, come here.
You'll notice also that we're getting purple gems now, so keep an eye on the top left corner where our health is. If you look in where the element is, you've seen the little fire symbol. If you look around it, there's going to be a purple meter that's going to show up now, so we're going to want to check that out. I don't know what good this serves us, because the enemies will never, ever run away from me, but I don't know. I guess it's fine. There is a time limit to this, by the way, so you got to make sure you kill them in time. If you catch one of them with your flames, make sure you finish it off before you move to the next one. So, also, they say chase these guys down and then use your flame breath on them. Unfortunately, there's a cooldown timer that you can't see on charging. So, like, if I just charge now, I'm holding the charge button and I can't charge for at least, like, 2 or 3 seconds afterwards. So, if you're going to charge at them, make it count.
There is a time and a place for everything.
He'll also teach you a few little melee combos while you're here. So if you haven't learned how to do air juggling yet, there you go. Now you know.
Flame is just getting started.
Over here.
Knocking enemies up into the air allows many opportunities for continued attacks. In the air, your wings...
And then they also want you to do this combo that I've been using basically the entire time. So that's pretty good. I think I pressed the wrong button there. Yeah, I pressed R1 instead. You can press R1 in the middle of the combo, and I think they'll teach you that in a minute, to kind of knock the enemy away from you so that you can handle the enemies that are underneath you.
Let us see how well you can improvise with your abilities.
And yeah, there you go. So, well, actually, this isn't going to teach us that. It's going to teach us how to do a horn dive, which lets us charge from the air at enemies, so I guess that's fun. And you can hear that beeping in the background. That is the timer that you're on. You have to horn dive all of the enemies before that timer runs out, or else you, well, you fail, and you have to do it again. And there will be times where we're doing these tutorials and we will fail in some cases because some of the breath powers are not as conducive to certain things, mostly chasing enemies around. So we'll see as we go. Anyway, the big combo, after your 3-hit combo, you can knock them up in the air with the 4th hit, and then you can go from there. I find it's usually better to just hold circle to knock them up in the air, though, because usually if you try to get a 3-hit combo in on the ground, unless it's one-on-one, you're probably going to get hit and then stun locked. So, yeah, not usually a good idea. Anyway, here's the thing I was talking about where you hold circle. You jump up, and then you fling them away by pressing R1. And we'll go grab these.
Over here.
As you can see, we're not getting a whole lot of that purple bar. It's only about a quarter of the way full, but...
Conserve your energy.
Excuse me, we'll get more. Don't worry about it.
Your enemy is vulnerable.
And then this just teaches you to do the same thing you just did, except with the 3-hit combo attached to it as well. And there you go.
That's what a motivated dragon can do.
Feels strange that they give you this tutorial like an hour in. I think it's thematically appropriate because you didn't get to the temple before this, so of course this is an ancient dragon training ground, so naturally this is where you'd want to train, but you just played the game for like an hour messing around with the controls trying to get here, so you'd think you'd know most of this stuff by now if you were messing around with it. I mean, I guess if you are a little kid or something and you've just been mashing circle the whole time, whatever, but yeah, if you've been messing with the controls at all, you've probably already got an idea of what's going on here, so... Alright, so we gotta knock the dummy into the other dummy, so you gotta kind of line it up a little bit. Yeah, I didn't do that correctly. Let's try again. See, there you go. Knock them into each other and they will explode. Just gotta line it up right. Easier said than done. Alright, let's see. Thankfully, the time on this one seems to be fairly generous, so... this might be a little hairy. Nope, got it. Alright, cool. It's just the further the distance is, the more likely they are to go off at an angle. But, well, we got it.
Ready to proceed.
They don't have subtitles for this part either, which is a little bit of a shame. I kind of wish I could hear what they were saying a little bit better. But, yeah, it's kind of hard to hear what they're saying and whether or not they're done talking, so... Oop. Alright, there we go. Do that. I guess I gotta hit him again. And again. There we go. You can die in this section, by the way. As you saw there, I took a little bit of damage, but it's fine. We'll probably be alright.
Spyro, you have taken tremendous strides in your ability to harness the element of fire. But now I will teach you to manipulate it. Focus and channel your fire into a short, concentrated burst.
Nice.
When done correctly, the results can be explosive.
So yes, we've only been able to use our fire breath before this, but now we have access to quote-unquote heavy breath attacks. So if you hold the triangle button down, or rather just tap the triangle button, you can shoot out a gigantic fireball that blows up on impact. Now that uses more mana than the regular fire breath, but it's pretty useful, especially against bosses, so we'll keep that in mind. I'm holding L1, by the way, and moving left and right. It's a strafing function. It's almost like a lock-on. I don't think they teach you about that until much later, but it's something that I find useful when we have to aim at a specific target, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so we just got to double jump and toss a fireball. That was a warning shot. There we go. So I think the idea here is to get rid of these big guys in the background, but the fireball itself seems to have some homing properties, so it will hit enemies that are fairly close to you rather than the enemies that you may want it to hit, so. Like that. See how that one kind of arced to the left or below me to hit the one that was below me instead of in the direction that I was trying to aim it towards? Yeah.
So far, so good. Now for the real challenge.
This way, oh, Mob One.
Over here. All right.
You have demonstrated.
We are almost done with the training now. Once you go to the middle of the room, that gives you an idea that you're just about done.
You have a strong.
Now we get Fire Fury. So this is our ultimate attack, and that's what that purple bar is for. That's basically what Ignitus is telling us right now.
And when the time is right, release it.
Okay, I think he's done talking. So let's beat up some enemies, and once we're done beating up some enemies with our fire breath and getting a bunch of these gems, you'll start to get more Fury bar from getting these gems now. As you can see, we're building it up pretty quickly now. But once we get it all done, and I'm just spamming the square button because they gave me unlimited breath, so I figure why the heck not. But once we fill up that bar, we'll get some tougher to defeat enemies, and then we can demonstrate our fury. Probably after this wave. Let's see. Nope, not quite. We're almost there, but not quite yet. Once they spawn the medium dojo dummies, that's when you know that you're finished. So now the bar is glowing, as you can see up on top. And here's the enemies. So now, let's demonstrate our fury. When you're in a fury, you're actually invincible to all incoming attacks, and it explodes out like the bomb that Ignitus used. And it basically kills most everything on the screen. It doesn't outright kill the toughest enemies, but it deals a significant chunk of damage to them. So it's usually a good idea to use it when you're surrounded or being swarmed or you're about to die, because it usually it clears that right out for you. And that's that. We've completed our fire training, and we've gained access to Fireball and Fire Fury. Cool. You can't upgrade Fire Fury, unlike the Fire Breath and Fireball skills, but it's there. It's not a bad option if you're getting, like I said, surrounded or swarmed. Are you taking a bath, Sparks? Could probably use it. How often do we actually bathe? Wow.
So what's with the pool, big guy?
If you must know, Certain dragons have the ability to see visions, the thoughts, memories, and dreams of others, and to see what's happening in places far, far away.
And you're one of them, I would assume.
I am one such dragon, and in this pool, visions come forth.
So yeah, like I said, certain tracks in the background, they, I think when the tracks deviate from their God of War origins...
Now.
Please stop, Sparks. That's when the tracks are better, and this track in the background, I think, is the game's main theme. It's a pretty solid track. It's very, like, serene. You may have heard it on the title screen, actually. But it's a pretty good track.
Is being held on Dante's freezer.
Oh, okay.
Spyro,
So they've got the electric dragon in the ice world.
I want you to venture.
Well, I guess if you're wanting to split them from their natural element.
Remember, just look around. If you encounter Cinder, run. You're not ready to face her yet.
Alright, fair enough.
Okay, so when people are trying to kill me, I run? Got it.
We've been doing that for a while.
How do we get there?
I'm glad you asked.
I guess that is a good question.
Smiling. I don't like it.
Because Dante's freezer is on a separate island.
You're saying that I can fly?
I mean, I would think even the dragonflies would have taught you that.
Maybe you've been hanging in those caves a little too long, old man. Spyro can't fly, we all know that.
Then what are the wings for, dipshit?
A bit of fresh air might do you good. I've never flown in my life.
Hmm.
You'll be getting some fresh air, Spyro.
Yeah.
Now, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and empty your mind. Yes, that's it.
And suddenly you've teleported.
Your ancestors coursing through your body.
Now, I hate to say stuff over this scene, because this is actually one of the best scenes in the game. This little camaraderie between Spyro and Ignitus goes a long way in this game that has very little redeeming qualities for a lot of its character development. What little character development there is, but this scene is pretty good.
Through forgetting, will you remember what your ancient blood already knows? You can fly.
There you go. Now don't look down. No, I just said don't look down. That's usually how it ends. Yeah, that scene's pretty good. I actually like that little part. And actually the section after it here is kind of nice too. Because, again, it hints at this budding camaraderie that Spyro has with Ignitus. He's like treated like a father figure, basically, to Spyro. He teaches him all this cool stuff that he never would have known before this. And then you get this really kind of peaceful flying level right afterwards. Now, there are enemies in this level that try to murder you, but...
He's flying. Welcome to the club, big guy.
How did you get up here?
Would that be the annoying pest club?
Can dragonflies fly this high in real life? Probably not.
I could get used to this.
It is a good view, isn't it? Well, let's get down to where the view is actually better. There you go. So yes, this begins a flying level for us, and I need to instantly... no, not do that. Go to the options. And I need to put that at normal, because apparently up is up and down is down in flight. It's just not up and up, down and down in the camera. So that's fun. Yeah, they give you this nice little serene flying level after that cool little cutscene that they had there where they show off that Spyro actually can... Now, I know, I'm kind of grasping at straws here, I know, because, like, yeah, no shit he can fly. He's a dragon, but... I mean, he grew up someplace where he never would have known that, and his dragonfly foster parents were like, well, I mean, how does a dragon fly? You know what I mean? I know how we fly, but we're more aerodynamic than he is. Look at how small the wings are compared to how big his body is. I don't know if he can even do that. He might not be able to. So, I don't blame them for not being able to teach him, but it's nice because of the fact that it gives a little bit of development to Spyro and Ignitus here, so... And again, they give you this nice, peaceful, relaxing flight level here. Now, there isn't a whole lot going on, but that's kind of the point. It's just, this is a Spyro moment, right? This is where he's supposed to be like, wow, I can fly, I can do barrel rolls, I can shoot flaming fireballs, there's these cool turtles in the ocean. Also, the enemies are still trying to murder me, but, you know, I guess we can't all be winners. Yeah, this level could do without the enemies. Just let me fly around and look at all the serene stuff out here. Like, show more ancient, like, ocean wildlife like that turtle, or just show more ocean wildlife to begin with, rather than showing the distance of the ability to draw distance. Rather than showing the draw distance, because you and I both saw that pirate ship just float into view from the background just now. So, rather than showing me that, as you can see, you need a lot of cannon shots, of fireball shots to kill these cannons. So I don't even bother. I just go for a fly. But yeah, you got the main theme going in the background, and you've got all that. It's supposed to be, for a developer that had more time to actually develop these things, this is supposed to be a nice scene that sort of reflects on Spyro's newfound abilities and allows him to, you know, become more at one with the world that he has to help save. At least, I think that's how it should be. Did they do this? No. No, they did not, but it would have been nice. Again, I can see the potential. I just wish they had actually, I don't know, capitalized on it in most cases. Because it feels like that happens a lot in this game, and I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but, you know, we'll figure that out in a second. I'm going to get out of here before this thing explodes again. There we go. There's a lot of potential, I think, to this new identity for Spyro, where it's not just a, you know, 90s video game mascot being sarcastic and all that stuff and collecting up collectibles. They're trying to tell a more serious story, and I can respect that. It's just that it feels like they take the opportunity to have some of that potential be capitalized on, and then they just kind of leave it there, and it doesn't really go anywhere. So, yeah, I don't know. It just, it makes me wish there was more to it, but there is not. So we'll make do with what we've got. We've made it to Dante's Freezer. 3 floors, 7 chests that had rages in them. That is a lot of rages. Holy crap. That will, those will come in handy if you use them when you get it. See, I usually use the pomanders when we have 3 of them and we find them in a chest, just so I can grab them afterwards. Of course, with rages, you're kind of halfway across the floor, but, you know.
Arctic expanse that's littered with the machinery of war. Soldiers and weapons frozen forever in the posture of destruction.
That sounds incredibly morbid.
Before his lost forever.
And yeah, I don't think I want... you know, we probably should have gone over that before you... You're not going to help me? You know how to... Well, maybe he doesn't know how to land, because don't they spend most of their life in flight? He doesn't appear to have any legs. Just has arms.
Yeah, maybe this flying thing ain't for me.
No, we're going to need it there, man.
Well, it sure doesn't help that you're carrying all that weight. You know,
Oh, boy.
once in a while, you might be okay.
And see, that's the thing, too, about Sparks, is that that's like his only joke through the whole game, is Spyro's quote-unquote weight issues. And it's like, can you come up with new material, man? Like, you're not even funny after the 3rd time.
Hero like you, but maybe we should take that clearly marked path that leads to the interior.
So don't even bother with the side paths. Got it. That's this whole game. Got it. Maybe don't stand around and let the ice spirit come to life and kill you. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if it did. Yep, there we go.
Ice Cube's alive.
Well, let's take care of Ice Cubes alive then. They have about as much HP as the previous enemies we've been fighting. Maybe a little more, but it's alright. Unfortunately, they're not weak to fire. I don't think anything in this game has a particular elemental weakness, but, you know. Okay, so you saw how the game saved when we were coming in here, right? So, this gets into something that I can talk about, and the reason why we're splitting this up into 3 streams rather than trying to do this a little bit faster. This game's save functionality is borked. So, let's say I save in the middle of Dante's Freezer and I decide, you know what, that's enough for the day, let's go, you know, finish it up and go from there. If I make a hard save in Dante's Freezer in the middle of it, anywhere but this beginning part, and then I turn off the console and I turn it back on again to try to come back, it will reset your progress for the entire level
Knock that bad boy down.
and send you back to the beginning, no matter how close you were to the end. Even if you made a hard save in the middle of the level, it will send you all the way back to the beginning. So that's why we're splitting this up into 3 streams, because I'm going to be doing the beginning in Dante's Freezer today. We'll be doing the next 2 levels on Thursday, and we'll be doing the final 2 levels. That's probably not good. We'll be doing the final 2 levels on Saturday, and that will do it. So, but yeah, so in order to get over there, we need to hit this tree, get some snowballs moving, and use the catapult to form a path through this 10 frames per second area. Okay, well, that's 1. Oh, hang on. Oop. There we go. Got him. Yeah, the enemies get a little more health as you go along in the game. Unfortunately, you do not. You keep the same health and mana through the entire game, but I mean, I guess it's fine. It means that the skills don't cost any more across the game, so. And to be fair, in most cases, the enemies give you enough gems to get by. But some cases, they don't. We'll figure that out as we go. I don't know what those things are supposed to be. I think squirrels, but your guess is as good as mine. Alright, let's get one more, and that should be enough to get us through this barricade that they have here. Maybe it's the camera. Like, when combat ends, I think the camera kind of pulls out just a little bit. But I'm not 100% sure about that. Alright, there we go.
You? Glad you? No.
I have no idea what they just said. When you don't have subtitles on the screen like that, it's kind of hard for me to pay attention to what you're saying. You barely beat 51 to 60. Boss doesn't die fast enough even with drill and reassembled drill. See, I haven't done 51 to 60. I haven't done any of it solo, to be frank with you. So I haven't really seen how bad it could be. You get used to it, though, right? Like, when you're doing level grinding in there, you get so used to the boss being a pushover. I would assume that all of a sudden, if you were to go, you know, do the... if you were to suddenly go do a solo run, it's got to be, like, sobering, you know what I mean? Where all of a sudden, the boss is actually remotely threatening. I don't know. I think it's interesting. Ooh, hello. Hello. There we go. I think I might have gotten some slight iframes just then, but kind of hard to tell. Not there, though, that's for sure. But yeah, as you can see, the gems replenish quite a lot of HP and MP, or health and mana. So that helps with keeping you alive, at the very least. As long as you can keep killing enemies, you can usually keep yourself alive, so... I have no idea what these names are supposed to signify, either. Like, it feels like they named them after, like, some... like, weird D&D convention or something. I don't know. Like, they're naming them after a tribe or something of monsters from Dungeons and Dragons. Which, you know, whatever. You do you. I don't think it makes much sense, but I'm not the original designer, so... Don't worry, you had 5 stacks of Vuln down from a lust, and it just wouldn't die. You needed 2 max potions and 2-second wins. Vuln up, not down. Oh, you had the Vuln up. Okay, okay, yeah. Damage increased to them. Yeah, that. So. Yeah, that's crazy, though, that they weren't dying fast enough. I'm glad you beat it, though. Because that could have gotten hairy. Looks like we're going to need more catapult. Void Fire did 2% FYI. Oh, that's great. So yeah, as you can see, they're kind of using some of the mechanics that they used in the tutorial training hall area with Ignitus there. So they put up this ice wall, and in order to break the ice wall, you're going to have to do that so that it can kill the enemies that are manipulating the ice wall. And I think this is just the Radiant battle theme here for Dante's Freezer, so... The unfortunate part is when this game puts up these walls, basically, and says, nope, you absolutely have to beat all of these enemies or else you cannot move on with the level. I'm gonna... hang on. Go this way, because he's using the cart for cover. Yeah, I don't know. There's points in time where they don't gatekeep you and say, you know what, you can move on if you want, but you really should beat the enemies. And most of those times, it's better to just not beat the enemies and just move along, because in a lot of those cases, the enemies, I mean, you get some experience from beating them, but you get enough experience to max out all of your skills by the end of the game anyway, so it's really not strictly necessary to max everything out or try to go for every single fight. I personally think it's a waste of time, but... And I mean, to be fair, it's mostly because of the fact that it's not just one wave, it's like 6 waves of 25 enemies at the same time. It's like, okay, can I move on with my life, please? I also need to get some HP, I think. So let's go get some. There we go. Yeah, I took a hit for it, but... I'll take it. And even though we were outnumbered and outgunned, as you can see, the gems give you back a lot of HP and mana. And we're full on Fury Bar. Nice. That'll help out with the next encounter. Yes, that is the main thing. Trash mobs in this one are not fun to fight. So that's the gist. Let's just go over. Okay. They've got a cannon over here that they're working with, so we got to kind of try to solid snake it up here. Sure, I'll take it. I don't think that was the intention, but I'll take it. Yeah, I don't know. It feels weird to be like, you know, they're trash mobs, right? But they're most of the time when you're fighting them, it's interesting to fight them because it's like you can mess with the combos and you can try to do some cool stylish moves. Here it's just like, I don't know, the lack of the ability of the enemies to stun lock you, I guess, is the main thing that gets me. But then there's just a lack of variety in your options in battle, I think. It's so bare bones.
Well, if it wasn't, it means there's more than one giant evil dragon around here.
Yeah, I'd rather there only be the one. But I'd also rather we stay out of sight, so... I mean, these guys down here, if we're not staying out of their sight, that's whatever, but... That's a barrel. Okay, so that's a dynamite barrel. Got it. I will keep that in mind. So now, we gotta fight these guys. And I believe there's a new enemy over here as well. Not this guy, but the guy that's inside the little arena to my left here. Not you. Someone else. The big guy that's over there. We'll go check him out in just a second. Because we gotta get in there. Whoa, hello. Icy. Icy. I'm slipping. Yeah. So he's got some armor. As you can see. Now, when he loses all of his armor, he turns into a spirit, and the best way to beat the spirit is just to keep hitting him with fire. Obviously, this will only work for so long because you've only got so much mana, but yeah, the further you upgrade your fire breath, the better off you'll be when you fight and kill those guys. So, I think I saw a gem cluster over here, so let's go grab it. Ooh, I'm being chased. Fine, you don't want to get bamboozled? We'll just do this. There we go. Just let you do that. How about you guys come in here where I can't slip on the ice while I'm trying to kill you? We do have Fire Fury available, but I don't want to use it for right now. There's some other encounters that we'll get into here in a little while where that'll be a little more useful to us. So, I'd rather save it for the encounters that give me the most trouble, you know. And there goes the game chugging again. Yeah, that's the main issue that I find with this first level, is that there's a lot of forced encounters in this first level. There aren't as many situations where you're able to kind of skip around. And, of course, that's a bit of a problem, because when you're trying to make a beat-em-up, if the player is inclined to want to skip your fights because they're boring, you didn't make a very good beat-em-up. So, I don't know, it's just... missed potential, again, is the big gist here. Alright, so that should take care of that. I'm going to throw another one out there just for good measure, in case the big guy is still there, which is a possibility, if I can, you know, if I can get to it. There we go. Okay, nobody there. Good. Then off we go. You'd love to see a speedrun of this game because this is tedious. Yeah, it's... See, when you can skip the mobs, the speedrun is fine, right? Because then you can just kind of move around them and go from there. In a lot of cases, like I said, forced fights cause the problem here. Now, I would imagine if you can speedrun the game, there are ways to skip the forced fights by doing some sort of clipping thing or something like that, but I'm not knowledgeable about that subject, unfortunately, so we would have to look somewhere else to get that knowledge. Another tower? Well, we know how to handle these towers. Oh, that's not good. Ow. So, stay out of sight. Alright.
Okay, buddy?
A little electrified, my friend. Just a little electrified. Got a little more pep in my step now. So yes, because Spyro got zapped by a spark, he got electric breath. I know, it makes about as much sense as it sounds like it should, but whatever, it's fine. No big deal. For these guys, though, we're probably going to stick with fire breath just because it's more upgraded for now. And also because the main gimmick of electric breath we can't use right now, because if I get too close to that tower, it will one-shot me. So we're not going to do that for right now. We'll take care of the waves of enemies for a minute until we can get into position with the snowballs, which I should probably do in a second, because these enemies are literally never going to stop spawning unless I do that, so... Let's just do this. Thankfully, using fire on these guys does not melt the snowballs, so that's pretty good. Now I just gotta get it around these enemies without taking too much of a hit. Come here, you. There we go. Alright, so doing that should stop the thing from killing me in a second. Oop, hang on. Hold the phone. Get out of here. I think I might need one more to get it to stop spawning the stuff. Of course, the snowball is stuck in between a rock and a hard place here, so... Ow. Just let me take the snowball! I don't want to play with you anymore. There. But yeah, you want to kill that thing on the top, because that red thing that you can see up there is where the lightning came out of. And as long as it's still around, we still get one-shotted if we walk too close, so... Thankfully, again, by killing these guys, we've been getting a whole bunch of health gems, which help out quite a bit. God, this is jankier than the watermelon in Super Mario Sunshine, and that's already pretty janky. Yeah, there you go. We got rid of the top part, so that's good. And I think that's it. I think they stopped spawning now. We can probably, like, try to trash the building just for the hell of it. I don't see why not. There we go. Nope. No trashing. Alright, that's fine. And probably there's a way to, like, clip from up there to, like, down here or something. Like, if you glide just the right way in a speed run or a setting or something like that, you could probably glide down here and get around this, but I don't know. It would be interesting to see, I think. We have a lot of soul power, so let's check this out. So if you press left and right on the thing, it will switch you between, excuse me, your breath power and your bomb power on that same element. If you press up or down, you can move to other breaths. Now, for the electric breath, The main gimmick of Electric Breath is that when you use it, you can throw enemies around. When it stuns them, they can be flung in a different direction. So you can see how, if there are bottomless pits in the level, this could be abused, because you can throw enemies directly off of cliffs and just end the fight immediately. And we will be abusing that maliciously. So I'm going to put a little bit into this. And then let's go back and upgrade the bomb power, because we should have enough to finish that up. In at least level 1 of it, yeah. Okay, there we go. We won't have enough to do level 2 just yet, but we will want to try to get these two to level 2. Just getting Electric Breath to level 1 is enough for now to get us by. But yeah, it'll give us a little more punch when we're trying to fling the enemies off of cliffs and stuff. Here it's a little harder because there's usually snowbanks on the edges of the cliffs, so it's a little harder to fling them off because the enemies will get stuck on those snowbanks that are like those raised edges. But, well, later there will be situations where there are no edges on the cliffs and we can just yeet enemies off of cliffs like there's no tomorrow. Doesn't that sound like fun? Well, it will be in a second. Let's give it a shot, why don't we? Whoop, that's the wrong button. Yeah, but you see how he gets flung so far away when you do that? See if we keep doing that. Now here, again, because of the cliff, the raised edge that's here, it's a little hard to fling them off the edge, but in that particular case, there you go. We flung the guy off the edge. We can fling that guy off the edge. Almost off the edge anyway. Up there he goes. You could even take guys like this and maybe fling him off the edge, although I don't know if it works for him because he's got a shield, so we can at least get rid of his buddies while we're at it. Just get the hell away from him while that's happening. But yeah, edges in this game are kind of janky. They cause more problems than they solve, that's for sure. So that's one way to handle those big guys. Sometimes you don't have that opportunity because, well, there's more than one of them, but this is a particular situation where you may want to use some fury. It seems like a good idea, right? I mean, 2 of these guys, 4 of these guys, how about this? You're going to do every floor and hope for a raising. Well, hopefully you get it, that would be pretty good. Yeah, as you can see, it's still a little bit tedious because these 2 guys still got their regular health bar to deal with, so hang on, let me get out of here before I do that. At least we grabbed a few more of these gems while we're at it, too. I could be using a bomb as well if I really wanted to. Maybe like this. That's not too bad. Okay, let's just get rid of that guy first before we start losing it. Oh, okay. I guess the other guy decided to faff right off. So that's fine. Can I be let into the gate now? Yes, but at a cost. Okay, and here come his friends. That's fine. We can handle his friends. Let's just see if we can fling them right over the edge. Maybe not like that. There we go. Oop, hang on, he's going. He's going! There we go. Yeah, see his HP bar gets a thing there as he gets flung off. It's just easier than trying to mess with them, really. And like I said, when you have a beat 'em up where this is the optimal solution, your beat 'em up is might be a little bit messy. I mean, you don't have to do that. You could, you know, combo that guy to death and do all that stuff, but... And you get all the gems and everything for killing him, so... It's not like you miss out on anything by doing that, you know? There will be some situations, of course, where we won't be able to fling them off cliffs because the cliffs are too far away, and in that case, fire is still the best to go for it, but... Yeah, Electric Breath is... usually a pretty solid go-to for most of the game. It's the second best breath power in the game. We'll get to the best breath power later. Thankfully, they saved the best one for last, but yeah, we'll get to that eventually. Oh, that's quite an entrance. And now to deal with this. Alright, hang on. One of the main problems, of course, with the fireball is that it's a little mana intensive, but in addition to that, you can't see jack and or shit once you use it because, well, the screen gets all messed up in terms of like the particle effects and stuff like that. Now, because we upgraded it to level 1, it actually can fling enemies into the air if you use it, so that's a nice little bonus. Again, too much gatekeeping in this level. Not enough of letting me do my own thing. Let's just burn these guys a little bit. There we go. Ow. I think I burned myself a little bit there. I definitely can't see. You've got dynamite, don't you, friend? How about you don't use that dynamite? Yeah, as you can see, in this particular situation, fire is a pretty solid little choice for you because, well, you don't have cliffs to fling them off of, and also it does enough damage where it should be able to kill them fairly easily. How are we doing on experience, anyway? I don't think we're quite there yet with the experience. Once we get full, I'll be a little more inclined to try to get to level 2, so... to say, oh, this looks like a little chase sequence, and yes, it is a little chase sequence, so let's do a little bit of running. Because I don't feel like getting impaled today. Oh, good, and there's a point where the charge just stops. Not only is there a cooldown, but the charge just, you can't use it anymore after this. So that's fun. Yeah, at least this guy's going to handle most of the enemies in here for me. Thanks, buddy. Of course, now their vengeful ghosts are going to come back and kill me, or they'll just drop more reinforcements from the sky, but, you know. To be fair, both of these factions are against me, so I guess it doesn't particularly matter to me which one I'm fighting. Oh, I'm stuck. Hold on. Boys, I'll be with you in a moment after I get myself unstuck from your soon-to-be corpses. Oh, stuck again. Hold on. Back up. There we go. Thinking about it, though, I probably shouldn't, like, repel the enemies with the R1 attack in the air, because that means their gems go flying, and I don't know if I want that. Because if their gems go flying, then I have to go all the way over here to get them back, you know, if I want them. Try to save your fury again, by the way, because there will be a situation where we'll want to use it in just a second here. That's not going anywhere. That can help me anyway. I don't think you want to upgrade to level 2 breath, actually, now that I think about it. The main draw to the level 2 breath for fire, specifically, is that it can panic enemies. And while that is good for some crowd control, it unfortunately also sends the enemies running away from you in panic. So maybe don't upgrade that just yet, because that means that it prolongs the fight. Like, if they're like this, they're on fire, which makes them panic, but not like run away from you kinds of panic. They just sort of panic. And I would rather they panic, but also don't hit me and don't run away. So... I mean, that'll work. Guess I didn't think about doing that before. Thanks, game. That's an interesting little combo. Would actually probably save me a little bit of trouble with some of the enemies, you know, hitting me when I get on the ground, so... I think the next place we want to use our Fury is right through there, so... Just grab a few things here while we're waiting for it. There we go. Let's check out our level up now. Yeah, we should have enough now where we can level it up. Or do I want to do this first? I think I want to do this first, because I don't think I want to upgrade this to level 2 until a little later. So let's see if we have enough to level this all the way to level 2. It'll be close. Okay, cool. So now we have, actually, the most powerful firebomb in the game. I know there's a third bar there, so you would think that you could continue upgrading it, and it would get even more powerful when you hit that top of that third bar. Not true. Once you hit the second bar, that's the most powerful it will ever get, but the game still allows you to dump experience into the skill for no reason. The gist that I'm going to be getting at by the time we're done with this game is that I feel like this is a beta release. Like, this is good enough for playtesting, but they didn't polish it out for the final release, you know what I mean? There are so many things about it that just scream to me that this is not the final product, you know what I mean? And they just ended up releasing this product. And it's just, I don't know. It just feels so jank in a lot of cases. Okay. So we have a Dread Rider, but you can knock him up in the air, so that should help us quite a bit. How about you that? And now we got these guys and another one? Yep, okay. Okay, two. Two of the Dread Riders. Okay, well, I mean, I can probably handle that. Okay, I might want to use my Fury here probably right about now. Let me get in the middle of them first and then do it. There we go. See if that'll do enough to kill the guys behind me. It'll definitely kill the guys in front of me, but the rest, yeah, like I said, it doesn't quite deal enough damage to kill them outright, but it deals a lot of damage to them, so. You also get this burning effect on your body after you use the Fury for a set amount of time. I think it increases your attack and defense. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think that's what it does, so. That's probably why those breaths worked so well there. Let's just grab a few of these, and then... Okay, now we can move on. And I think I might have used my Fury a little bit too early now that I think about it, because this part looks familiar, and yeah, there's a big guy. Okay, there's 3 of them. Oh, fan-damn-tastic. Well, this is what I have the fire bombs for. Although I'm not really sure how much that's actually helping. Doesn't appear to be helping a significant amount. But yeah, as you can see, the main problem with these guys is that you can't juggle them in any way, which makes it hard to kind of deal with them, because you got to resort to using your breaths to deal with them, and, well, you only have so much breath to go around, unfortunately. Might not even need to deal with these guys, though, because... Oh, no, never mind. You do. Because this tower's here. I was thinking, hey, they didn't gatekeep me. Not true. Okay, so death. Why is death of no consequence in this game? Because most of the time when you die, you end up with full health and mana anyway. And the vast majority of the time, if you've killed the enemies, like, it'll refill their HP. But in this case, if I get these guys down to where they turn into their spirit forms... they will stay in spirit form when you die. So if we were to come back after this guy would be in spirit form after we're done. So yeah, death, not really much of a consequence. So I'm gonna take the hits and just go from there. I don't even think I hit that guy. Yep, he only had the one hit on him, but that's okay. Well, that'll give me more mana to do this, so... I don't know how I'm alive. I'm about to be dead. Yep. So yeah, some enemies just, but yeah, as you can see, they remained in their spirit forms, which allows you to just, and some of them, sometimes when you reload the checkpoint like that, they even keep their health bars where they were before you reloaded the checkpoint, so I don't understand. I don't know why that happens, but it's what happens, and so I'm going to use it if I need to. Alright, well anyway. That takes care of that mess. So, let's just go over here now. But yeah, most likely what we're going to do is we're going to finish this level, and then we'll do the little training thing that you get, the training montage that you get at the end of each level. And once we're done with that, we'll call it a day, I think. Because then I'll be able to save, and the game will actually keep the save there. So, hey, Conker, it's going good. How's it going for you there? Been here at the beginning, but you had to step away. That's okay, Conker, not a problem. It's been going. We're just playing The Legend of Spyro, and I've been moaning about it most of the time that we've been here because it's of a game. It is a video game. You could describe it as such. Should be able to knock this guy around, although he's going to be, yeah, out of the barrier, so. Until he dies, I have to stay in the barrier, but he can leave it whenever he wants. Absolutely. I mean, it's his barrier, so I suppose it works by his rules, you know. Can't complain too much about that. Did I miss any gems? No, I don't think I did. Alright, that works. I don't know why I keep hitting these pots with the fires underneath them. It's not even remotely necessary, but I'm doing it anyway. Alright, let's see. Oh, okay. Got a guy up there throwing dynamite. Getting stun locked, that's okay. Can get that guy out of here so he can't stun lock me anymore. I probably could throw a firebomb up there, but I think I'm just gonna not do that. I don't know how that guy hit me through my flames, but whatever. Actually, I do know, because this game's targeting and combat system is, Let me get a, better combat system that doesn't have a first-order strategy that completely trivializes most encounters. But don't get used to this either, because by the time we get to the next level, there will be not very many situations where we won't just be flinging enemies off of cliffs with our electric breath to skip encounters entirely, because they give us a whole bunch of bottomless pits and most of the rest of the levels we'll be dealing with, so yeah. Again, I want to stress, this series gets better. We just have to get through this game first. So. Background music of these last 6 floors is putting you to sleep. Oh boy. Which BGM was it? I thought something was going to fall on my head because I saw that shadow. Is it one that I would recognize? I guess that's what I'm asking. Oh look, more, well actually this probably isn't locked, but I'll bet if I break the gate that's directly next to me, I'll find out that it actually is locked from the other side. Let's find out. No, 'tis not. Okay, well hang on, let me get these guys out of here anyway. They just keep coming, don't they? They don't even stop. They just decide if they want to hit you, and they're just gonna hit you directly through your everything. All right. That time I was holding triangle, by the way, and it wouldn't let me do the heavy dive. It might be because I only did one jump. That's a possibility. I don't know. We'll see. Whenever you're ready to go up in the air there, sir. Thank you. Yeah, actually, that's the main gist there, Conquer, is that the series goes from bad to good. And that's actually one of the major redeeming qualities I have about the Legend of Spyro trilogy. The part about it that actually kind of gives it a little bit of a soft spot in my heart for it, right, is that a lot of the time with sequels for video games, they end up sometimes getting better over time, but the vast majority of the time you improve in certain places and then you get worse in other places, or you create other problems for yourself in the other games in the trilogy or in the series. With The Legend of Spyro, the first game is so grossly mediocre at best that it's hard for it to get any worse. Of course, that's dependent on which version of the Eternal Night you play. If the second game is The Legend of Spyro: The Eternal Night. If you play the... Oh, hang on. Let me get out of the way of the dynamite. If you play the PS2 version of The Eternal Night, well, you're asking for suffering. So maybe don't do that. And when we get to The Eternal Night, I'll explain why you don't want to play the PS2 version. But for now, if you're thinking about playing this with me, take my advice. Don't play the PS2 version of, well, any of these games if you get the chance. But with Spyro: A New Beginning, you really don't have much of a choice because most of the versions of the game are not exactly incredible. So... I'm just gonna burninate them. Just get rid of them. There we go. They'll give you enough gems to keep fire breathing almost indefinitely anyway, as long as you keep killing them. I'm just gonna do that to all of the pots now because I've done it to all the other ones before this. Oh, Somal is one of them? Okay, gotcha. See, now, if it was Somal hard mode, I'd be like, really? You're falling asleep to that? Somal hard mode is such a bop. It's basically like Mega Man X8 music, and I love it. Sure. You just clip right into that glacier. That works for me. Are you having fun with the fire there, friend? There we go. Let's see. Up here. There we go. I don't know. Dante's freezer itself, it feels like it drags for a while. Like, it feels like you're just kind of meandering from point to point, and not a whole lot is going on here. It's kind of just like you get the electric breath, and then you meander for 45 more minutes, and then all of a sudden the level's over. So, I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but... yeah, it just feels like there ain't a whole lot going on. Then again, that could describe this whole game, couldn't it? No. It's, we have to set the establishing shot for the story so that when the story of the next games happens, it actually makes sense. So that's why we're playing this one. I understand. Again, trying not to just be negative Nancy over here all day. And again, it's not that this game does anything specifically that's, like, incredibly awful. It's just so painfully mediocre. And it's got a halfway decent premise to it. So, the fact that it is mediocre, despite its halfway decent premise, is, I guess, the most disappointing part. That autosave is a lie, don't believe it. It's only there as a checkpoint if you die in the next fight. It's not there actually as a checkpoint if you decide to turn the system off. Again. The auto-saving in this game is jank, and you shouldn't trust it. Oh, that's definitely falling out from under me. Okay. Well, at least that part was still, there. Let's see. Hello, squirrel-looking things. The Scorpion hard mode can die in a horrible conflagration. Well, the level, I like the level. The boss fight, I mean, the boss fight ain't too bad. Actually, I've fought it enough times to be like, yeah, it's not too bad. Oh, good, I just got stun locked by a bomb and a fireplace. Can't say I had that on my bingo card, but let's check it off in the free space. Oh boy. I don't know, at some point I'm just gonna loop around to where the game is so unfun that I start having fun with it anyway. I hope that happens anyway, so. And now we get a new enemy to fight, a Dreadwing. Now you don't have to do what I'm doing here to kill the Dreadwing, but I'm going to, because despite having wings, he will die instantly if you fling him into a bottomless pit. What is this video game? Why does it exist? Is it only for my suffering? Because I'm starting to think so. Something was... Oh, that was me. I was using the firebomb attack. Okay. That's... Okay. That was what I was trying to do, was that right there. I didn't realize I was... I think I've got... Like, Dawn of the Dragon, I think, is causing me, like, retroactive interference here. Because in Dawn of the Dragon, the heavy attack is... what's it called? Triangle, so... Yeah, when in doubt, arson can solve problems in the video games. Yes, that's for sure. In this case, definitely for sure. Tank, pull the boss away from the lava. Nah, I'm good. No, you're about to not be good. Pull the boss away from the lava. So yes, get used to us fighting and killing Dreadwings like this, because it just works. All of this just works. I feel the same way about using the electric breath in this game as I do about most of the glitches in the Bethesda games I've played in my lifetime. I have no idea why they're there, and I think I'd prefer if they weren't, but because they're there, I'm going to take advantage of them. Just slip off the mountain, man. Do us all a favor. Yeah, like that guy. You can even get multiple people to slip off the mountain if you really want to. If you do that. See, there you go. The way that you do this, by the way, is you get them locked in with the breath, and then you push in a direction, almost like you're doing a smash attack in Smash Brothers, basically. So, like here, I'm getting them caught in the tractor beam, and then I'm pressing left, and it's flinging him to the side, like that. Okay, that guy, he didn't even need a tractor beam. He just went, man. He just decided he'd had enough. I will try not to abuse this too terribly much, but who am I kidding? I'm probably going to abuse it a lot in the next couple of levels, because it's just easier than tearing all of their HP bars down. Especially with these Dreadwings, because what they like to do is they like to use their wings as a shield. And when an enemy uses its wings as a shield, it doesn't matter what you're doing to them. It will basically prevent you from damaging them in any meaningful way. It won't panic them if they're on fire. It won't let them get tractor beamed if they're electric. Ow. And it won't... basically, it won't let you damage them in a way that's going to allow you to actually kill them more quickly. Now, can you imagine having to do all of this that I just did here while actually fighting them normally? Because I sure can't. But yeah, as you can see, if you just hold up, it won't move them, so you got to kind of fling left or right to get them to go away, like that. Nobody else over there. He was done with life, absolutely. But yeah, the main thing about this is just, like, look at how little mana I'm using to use the tractor beam. It's just, like, a completely insignificant amount. It doesn't really cost very much, and by the time you're done using it, and all of the gems get tractor beamed to your body from off the cliff, you just get it back to begin with. So it's like, why not use it, you know? Use it and abuse it. Because this game ain't doing you any favors otherwise, so. Ow. Okay, there we go. Push you that way. I'll fight this guy normally, just because. You can juggle them, as you can see. Yeah, that right there, that was the part where he's using his wings to kind of block you. Now you can get through it, it's just that there's a chance that you won't get through it, and then he'll just, you know, decide he's done with you, so. 61 to 70 is done. Nice, congrats, Marie. Boss that just inflicts a heavy that you can't do anything about is full. Just tank through it with your face. Wow. You found a cave. Good job, Sparks. Didn't they have caves back home? Yeah, you literally have to tank it with your face, yeah. Okay, but what if a bunch of their Cinder's goons are in here? Like, yeah, I was gonna say. Isn't it a bad idea to go screaming? Well, I guess we'll take care of them then, won't we? Okay, well, that works. I'm just gonna do this. I'm done with life, and so are they. And we'll get back a good chunk of our fury anyway, so. Hey, if they're gonna surround me, I might as well fight fire with fire there, right? It hits you with an auto that inflicts the heavy, and you can't stun the boss. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, definitely not gonna work then. With getting, you know, with avoiding the heavy, that's for sure. That's a whole lot of gem clusters in one spot. I got a bad feeling about this, Sparks. If you haven't upgraded your firebomb to level 2, you might want to do that now. Because we're about to find a good target for it.
What part was easy? Getting chased by frozen madmen and gorillas?
I mean, with electric breath, that was pretty easy.
Sparks.
It's definitely something. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about when I say voice direction, because he did fine with the, is that what I think it is? Then he goes, eh, like he's trying to very poorly emulate Peter Griffin laughing. Voice direction. I'm not willing to say that David Spade phoned it in. I don't know why I'm gunning for him defensively, but I'm not willing to say that he just phoned it in. Here's the Ice King. Use your fire bombs. They blow him up good. Okay. You can also dodge left and right when using the strafe functionality, which makes it pretty easy to dodge this guy's attacks. Now, those attacks right there, you're going to want to just jump over, but yeah, if you're trying to dodge the icicles that he tries to hit you with right about here, you may want to just, you know, you may want to just dodge around them. Okay, get me out of here. I really wish the camera would, like, work with me, but might be asking for a lot there. Okay, so when he lifts his foot, he's going to use that kind of ground clearing attack that he's got there. Now he's using the icicles that are on the ceiling. They home in a little bit, so try to use the ice pillars to your advantage if you can. I'm going to go grab that. There we go. Okay, hang on. Okay, yep, okay. Definitely not gonna get away from those ones, unfortunately. All right. Well, there goes his shield, so that's pretty good. Unfortunately, he's right on top of those health gems that I would kind of like to have, but you know. Okay, well, we'll do what we can. It's fine. We'll just hit and run. You know, like that. Kind of. I shouldn't have gone for that. I'm gonna lose my momentum! Okay, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Get my momentum going this way. Yeah, don't think I didn't see your foot there, sir. I've played enough twitchy action games to know what you're up to. Oh, good. He dropped a few gems for me that I probably won't be getting for a little bit. Never mind, I got them all. Yeah, that's the gist of this one. Just kind of... Because you slide around on the ice, so you maintain your momentum. So just kind of occasionally twitch over and throw a bomb at them. And that's usually going to do you some good. The bombs are kind of sometimes a little janky, so sometimes they don't actually hit him. But when they do hit him, you'll know. Oh, run, Spyro. Oh, run. Like that. In that particular instance, they did. Okay. Get over that. Can I, like... There we go. Love how we were, like, on the edge of death there for a minute, and now all of a sudden it's just like, well, there he goes. Actually, I think he might have one more health bar now that I think about it, because usually red is the last one. But maybe not. Yeah, why does this work? It's the drive-by firebomb, that's it. I'm driving right by. Blowing him up while we're at it. Now, it only works as long as you have mana, but you get so much mana from the icicles that it's... This fight isn't really that bad. It's pretty chill. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I didn't realize it was a pun until it was too late and it was already out of my mouth. Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, he's got Ice Breath of his own now that he can use on you, but, well, we got that handled, so. And the bomb stuns him, so that's why it works pretty good in that department, so. It actually interrupts his Ice Breath. If you don't hit him in the middle of an animation, it does pretty good for you as well. So now, I think with the problem that we've been having that I haven't really addressed here is that if he has his shield up, you actually can't hit him. So that's why it wasn't really working for us there. Like right now, he went in the shield, but we got him before the iframes went up. As long as he has that shield up, you can't hit him. I don't think, anyway. So just, you know, dodge around. Don't get hit by the Ice Breath. Throw a bunch of bombs if you can, and then we'll go from there. Let's just test that theory. Yeah, see how it phased right through him there? Just get over that. Toss that behind him. Doesn't seem to be working all that well when I toss it behind him. I gotta kind of toss it directly at him, it looks like. Okay, okay, definitely not gonna get out of here. Hold on. Hold the phone. Let's get over those. Spyro, where was that going? Can you aim at the Ice King, please? Evidently, that's a no. Let's grab a few of those. Alright, he's Ice Breathing again. Not what I'm aiming at. There we go. See if we can get him before the shield comes back up. Yep, there we go. So this is where Samus gets the ice beam. I mean, Spyro gets Ice Breath. It's a good guess. Unfortunately, we did not rescue the Ice Dragon. We rescued the Electric Dragon, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, Spyro heard me talking smack and stopped aiming. Oh, for sure. That's me. I just think you're out of the know, man.
So much time has passed, so many things have been learned, and now here he is standing right before me.
Excuse me, Mr. Vault.
Can we leave? It's getting cold in here.
Oh, of course. But where to?
Go back to the temple.
A friend of yours is waiting.
Ignitus?
Yep.
Yes, Ignitus.
Of course, much to tell, many hypotheses to pose.
You do that. We'll just take the training and leave now. Thank you. So Voltaire's thing is that he's incredibly amped at all times because he's the Electric Dragon. Okay. I guess it's a character trait.
Voltaire, it's good to see you as well, but we don't have time to waste on
I just wish that wasn't all you got out of him for basically the entire game.
Cinder's a chick?
I mean, I guess you could have named a male dragon Cinder, but would it have had the Y in it?
She was using it as a back.
Maybe I'm being judgmental, but usually the Y is a good indicator of it not being a dude.
Perhaps. What I do know is that we need to rescue the other Guardians before Cinder can power any more of those orbs.
So yes, that's what Cinder was doing with the Guardians. She has these orbs that she needs to power. And she needs the power of the Guardian Dragons to do that, because they're the experts in their field, of course.
Oi, why didn't you just say so?
Either way, you like Cinder, and not because she was busted. No, like I said, I think Cinder is a solid character throughout the series, so we'll get more into it later in the game when we start to encounter her more, and then definitely get more into it in the third game where she makes a much more prominent appearance than in this game where she's just kind of a looming shadow of a villain. So, excuse me, but we'll get into it later.
Spyro, come here.
But I like her. She's pretty cool. Should have had a grounded personality instead. Hold on, I'll do it for you. There you go. Alright, so we get electric breath training now from Voltaire. Awesome. So let's see what he's got for us. We'll get another bomb technique from him, so whatever this electrical bomb will do, not that I'm going to use it basically at all, because electric breath is where it's at, but it's the main OP part is electric breath, so... I might not even upgrade Fire Breath to level 2 now that I think about it, because I don't think I want the enemies running away from me in terror. Which they will do if I upgrade the Breath to level 2, so... I might just leave it at level 1 for the whole game. Okay, so yes, just like I said, the main gimmick of Electric Breath is that you can take the enemies and throw them as if you're holding them with a tractor beam, which is not too far off, because it's Electric Breath, so... You just kind of zap them to the point where they can't do anything else. Alright, let's go see what Voltaire's next teaching is. Usually the tutorials for the dragons after Ignitus are a little bit less. They require less things for you to do, so... Okay, now, like I said before, you have unlimited breath powers in here, so chase after them, zap them with the breath, get rid of them. If you gotta hold it out in front of you, then do it. Until you zap them into oblivion. I think I got them both. Yep, good. Last one. I'd like to believe I know what I'm doing.
Over here.
See, I can hear some of the things that they say in here. It's just that most of the things that they say, because they're not subtitled, and the music is higher than the voice acting, and the voice acting itself is kind of low to begin with, so... Okay, so the electrical bomb is an electric cage that traps enemies in midair. And, I mean, it's kind of useful. Because as you can see, it flings them up into midair, but it's kind of unruly unless you're right on top of them. So, it's alright. I usually don't use it too much because it kind of has a mind of its own, and it likes to go flying off in random directions before arcing back towards the enemies. So, and usually by that point, I might as well just fling them to the ground with the breath, you know. But it's not bad. Okay, so now we got to use the just the bomb to get them up in the air. So that's one. And they will die when they hit the ground, so that's good. I don't know how that works, but I'll take it. Well, I tried it, but evidently trying it is different from actually getting it. I'm just gonna throw them all over the place until I hit one near me. Because, I mean, I have unlimited breath, so I might as well just do this until we get them. Because as you can hear in the background, the timer is ticking away, so...
A new tactical approach coupled with more focus might prove successful.
I can't tell if the timer finished up there or if we did it correctly. We did not do it correctly. Okay. So, I guess I'll just do this until I approach the enemy that's getting flung. Because, again, have unlimited breath, so we might as well just spam it. Can one of you get flung up in the air, please? Thank you. Unfortunately, you can't do what I just did in most situations, where you can just kind of spam it until it catches the one that's close to you. If you could, it would make this a lot easier to use, but like I said, a little unruly for my taste. Some of the powers are a pretty big hit in this one. Like I said, the electric breath is really solid, but some of them, not so much. I mean, they can't all be winners, I guess. This isn't Dawn of the Dragon. In that game, all the breaths are winners. It don't matter which one you use. You're bound to have success anyway, because they're all well balanced with each other. Some of them are a little better than others, and one of them in particular is much better than all of the rest of them, but yeah, most of them are balanced pretty well in that one. But we'll get to that when we get to that. For now, let's zap a few enemies to death, and then get some Fury Ba. And then we can use our Electric Fury. Yeah, as you can see, they don't even reduce my breath power in here, because apparently, I think I have the level 1 breath. Judging by the size of the electrical stream, it looks like I have the level 1 breath in here, which is kind of nice. Like, the experience that I used I'm actually allowed to use it in the temple, unlike, they didn't take it away from me, is what I'm saying, I guess, so. Because if they took it away from me, that would be not very nice. I mean, it would be fine, I guess, because it's a tutorial, so they would expect you to kind of, you know, get used to it without all the fancy upgrades, but that does very well mean that you could have upgraded your electric breath to level 2 in Dante's Freezer and then come here with a maxed out breath. Now, you'd still have to get the bomb. You wouldn't have that before, you know, doing this training, but you could practically be a master of electric breath and come into the training only to learn just a little bit more, you know? Apparently they don't want me to use the Fury just yet. They'll let you know when they want you to use the Fury power, because they'll show you the R2 prompt on the screen, and they'll throw medium dummies at you instead of small ones, so. Like right about now. Eat this! Nice. I'll take it.
Your training is complete.
I feel all tingly now, Voltaire. Thanks. And now to never use the electric bomb again. Yes, exactly. You will never see it again, because the breath is just way, way better. Easier to control. Not so... I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? Because it's thunder and lightning, so it's kind of wild, right? Like, so it has a mind of its own because it goes wherever. It's not limited by, you know, a basic breath distance. So it makes sense for the element. Doesn't mean it's useful.
You and Sparks must go there at once and find him.
Okay.
But if we see danger, we should run, right?
I mean, if we see Cinder, sure.
All of us need to stand up to danger, young Sparks.
Yeah, maybe next month, next summer, perhaps next year.
Just let me handle it. Sparks, just let me handle it. Alright, so off we go to the next level, Tall Plains, and this is where we're going to call it for the day. Once we load in, of course. We got to get our little blurb about where we're going before we get there.
Tall Plains was once home to a proud ancient tribe called the Atlawa.
Oh, bless you.
The Atlawa were a people in tune with the rhythms of the seasons, focused on their relationship to crops, their surroundings, their gods.
Okay, they sound pretty cool.
Been driven underground by Cinder and her forces.
Maybe not so cool now because they're kind of hiding for their life.
Cinder is keeping still, trying to power another crystal.
So they took the electric dragon to the ice area, and they took the ice dragon to the earth area. This is going to become a trend, isn't it?
Worthwhile ever is.
Now you're spouting wisdom, hero boy?
I was going to say, you've been hanging around Ignitus a little bit there, Spyro. Okay, but that's what we're going to call it a day. Let me see if I can find the save option here somewhere. It did just save just now. Now it says enable autosave here, and it's just going to let me save. Now see, there it is. There's my save point right there. But we'll make a save again. Selected save game will be overwritten. Sure, that's fine. Let's just save it right here. And that's where we'll call it for today on The Legend of Spyro, A New Beginning, the Stream Edition. We'll come back on Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time and continue through Tall Plains to see if we can find Cyril. Thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream. And I'll see all of you on the next one, which, as I said, will be on Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We're 1/3 of the way there, ladies and gentlemen, and then we'll get to the good stuff. Until then, take care and have a good one.